Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Vehicle Radio Rescue. It's been a long time, hasn't it, since I've made a video in general, so here I am, back making one. And as usual, making irresponsible decisions. So, I guess without any further ado, let's get into this video. Apologies for the mess, this desk is pretty rough at the moment, but joys of workbench life. Anyway, this is a Blaupunkt Heidelberg RCM 40. It's a very nice head unit. It's got RDS, which is pretty amazing for its time, dynamic noise reduction, and Dolby noise reduction. This is the first deck I've ever seen that's got dual noise reduction techniques, which is really interesting. Up to 6 presets, 3 banks of ultra high frequency. There's your RDS button and source, because this can actually do CD changer. I'd love to find the CD changer that this works with. That would be cool. And obviously this takes a Blaupunkt key card, which I don't have. So I actually bought this from D&D. Yes, that D&D, not Dungeons and Dragons. The D&D Services Limited, who does radio codes and radio repairs, things like that. It turns out every now and then they get head units in that people either don't pay for or they just never contact them again or whatever. And this was one such unit. They were selling it on their eBay for a good price. And I picked it up because the radio does work. It just doesn't have a key card. It needs a key card putting in here and programming. Luckily, they've included the master code, so this will be very easy to get this key card programmed. There are other problems with this deck, which we will look into very shortly, like the volume dial is kind of like that. And it's not even the dial itself. This is the whole volume like mechanism. And I get the understanding is with D&D, if something's not paid for or something's not done, they don't bother going any further and they just leave it to sit gathering dust. So, although I know they'd probably be capable at fixing all this, I'm guessing they're not going to do it for free. Which is surprising because this radio is worth a lot more than I paid if you fix it up. So I'm surprised they didn't, but I don't know, maybe they're running out of key cards or whatever. Not sure. Anyway, that's a bonus for us because I can then use this in my cars. I've got no plans to sell this radio if it all works out, and I'll end up using this in one of our cars. We got another problem here, such as the flap bit's missing. It'd be really cool if that's in the radio somewhere. There's also a tape in there as well. I don't know if you can see that, so we'll have to see what that is. But yeah, what else we got around here? We got the serial number. I'm not going to unplug it for now. Also, I apologise. I own some budgies, and they are occasionally incredibly loud, so I apologise if you're hearing budgie noise, like right now. You can see the ISO port, the CD changer port. So this is 4x7 watts, or I think 2x26, so not bad for the time. I believe this dates from the early 90s, but we will know for sure once we get this cracked open. Right, so let's take this thing apart. That's going to involve unplugging it from the ISO block that is welded on. There we go. Hate when that happens. Right, let's get this open. Annoyingly, I don't have most of my screwdrivers here, which is probably going to impede me a little bit. It's going to make my life a little bit harder. Oh, here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, wow. I hate these stereos that are like, sort of, got these like clips that hold them together. Here we go. We can see what tape we've got in here now. Oh, there's a rattle in there. Oh, you never know, that might be the front flat bit. That would be nice. Wow, this is really not very accessible. I do like the made in Germany Blaupunkt bit there. Oh no, it's got all these bits you've got to desolder. Oh, I hate when they do this. Blaupunkt. That's annoying. Oh, that is going to take some getting into, isn't it? Right, what about access from the bottom? How's that? It's probably going to be worse if I had to guess. Oh, this is a nightmare to get into. There we go. So we got our sheet there. Oh yes. Okay, there's a good chance that's just, it's probably got one of those nuts that it has on it, and it's probably just become loose. At least that's what I think anyway. So right, we need to try and get in here and see what we can do. This will hopefully allow us to take the front off, so we can at least have a look at that. So let's pull the dial off. Now we can hopefully start to... Oh, there's one more screw on each side to actually remove the plastic bit. The first bit was to remove the security retention bracket, and the second bit was to remove the entire bracket itself, the entire fascia. Oh, that just removes the outer bit. Helpful. Oh, okay, no, there's some more screws. Right, which ones are actually for this panel? That one. Don't need to use a smaller bit. Okay. Oh yeah, the front panel's coming. Be very gentle with it. What's up with it now? Oh, what was that? Uh-oh, there's a piece of plastic that's popped out of it. I hope that's not important. Yeah, I was right about the nut. The nut is indeed loose in there. It's going to be hard to show because my phone doesn't want to focus. But yeah, we can see the nut is loose in there. So that bit will be a very easy fix. The station preset sticker's come off, so we'll have to stick that back on again. But that's okay. Bit of double-sided tape should manage that. Oh, those are actually LED. You could tell it was coming sort of later on. Right, I don't think we're going to be able to go any further without removing the solder tab, so I'm going to do that. Blaupunkt had this stupid obsession with soldering stuff together. They did it on multiple of their decks. You'll find a lot of the stuff in here is just soldered. Right, and there's only solder connections. There's no plugs, anything like that. A remarkable amount of these decks just are soldered together. It's infuriating. I hate these solder tabs so much. You just sort of have to push them out of the way and hope that you do a good job. Okay, that wasn't bad. We haven't damaged anything in the surrounding. Good, alright. Flip it over and continue. See what I mean? It's so violent as well. It's horrible. I hate working on Blaupunkts with these solder tabs. But most do. Most do. The fact that even this is an early one. I had a Proton Saga Ishwara that had a Verona SQR29, I think, and pretty much all of that one was soldered together. There wasn't anything that wasn't. Okay. I think I got everything. I don't think I damaged anything, which is good. Yep. Okay. This board should hopefully start to move, although I'm probably going to have to desolder all of these. Which is going to be a pain. I've got a feeling that's what's holding the front panel on, is these wires. Which is annoying. Let's see how far we can get with the top bits. Okay. That's all out. I feel like we're slowly starting to get somewhere, so that's good. I need to get to the tape mechanism because I want to have a look at it. I think I might have to desolder though to go any further. Could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. So this is from, I think it says 25th of June 1990, which adds up. That sounds about right. I may have to desolder these connections to get in there. So let's give them a bit of flux, and I think we'll start desoldering connections. Luckily, because I'm videoing, I've got evidence where all this stuff goes, and it should have cable memory anyway, with any luck. There we go, that's not too hard. But yeah, 25th of June 1990, so there we go, it is indeed from 1990. I thought it might be. Right, let's continue undoing screws and see if we can get this tape deck to come out. That would be lovely. And then maybe we can see if we can eject this cassette. Because it's all logic controlled, but normally when you get in there you can. Here we go, now we're getting somewhere. Crikey. Quite the mech. It's funny that it doesn't have a back plate. I don't know if it's supposed to have a back plate because I couldn't find the service manual for this. Because if you don't know, these don't give you the tape deck service manual. They're normally a special addendum, and I couldn't find any online. So if anybody can, for the Mini 13 and Mini 14 decks, let me know. I'm still wondering where this peg broke from. It's quite the break as well. I mean, maybe it just doesn't have a bottom plate. It looks like one of these decks with the strange plastic ass sort of, with the weird like plasticky sort of flywheels. Very strange. Oh, here we go. It's starting to eject. Maybe. Yeah. No. Yeah, it is. I think. It is the Love Album TV. Okay, cool. But hey, at least we got it out. The belts actually look like they'll be serviceable, so once we get into this thing, we can hopefully test. The cogs all look all right. There's no broken teeth. I don't see any cracks in the cogs themselves. That's a good start. It's interesting. It seems like it's going to eject there, but then it doesn't. Also, why is that dangling? They normally stiffen up when they're ejected. They also normally have a thing to push the cassette in and out, but this doesn't. I don't know if this mechanism is possibly missing parts. Maybe this mechanism was really broken. Yeah. It seems like it's missing parts. I could be wrong, because like, how does it know when there's a cassette in there? Oh, I think there's a little bit there, look. Yeah. I think this bit here is the bit that tells it. Yeah. It's a bit stiff. That certainly needs some lubrication. Oof, goodness, that needs a lot of lubrication. Whoa. Yeah, I think that's the bit that tells it when there's a tape in there. If we can get the deck powered up at some point, that may tell us a bit more. Right. So we're in here a little bit more now. I'm going to try and see how we can get that front panel off. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to desolder it. I'll bring it up to the camera for reference for all of us. If you can focus camera, please. There we go. Right. Let's get that desoldered. Yeah, I've got a feeling that's the problem. I could be wrong. I could be very, very, very wrong. But it's been off before, and it is hinging off of it, and I can't pull that front panel any further, so I am kind of sat here wondering if that is probably the issue. Right, so what I need to do is go around, desolder each pin, and pull them while I do so to get them away from where they are currently sitting. There we go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, come on, yeah. probably needs a bit of flux. I think it's a bit dry. I think I might be right about this front panel because I swear I saw it move just then. Aha! I was correct. There we go. And that's out. And luckily, it doesn't look like I've damaged any of the connections, so they'll definitely go again. Yeah, obviously they're a bit muddled up, but that's fine. We can straighten them out. And I'll use a better tip next time. Right, so the volume dial is going to be super easy to fix. Yeah, it's literally just loose. Although we have to wonder why it's loose, you know, what... Is that because some repairs were carried out? You know, what happened to this thing? You know, can we know any more about it? I'm probably going to take it apart a bit further anyway, because I suspect the thermal paste needs doing, if it ever even had any from the factory. A surprising amount of them never did. I find myself always doing thermal paste on a lot of these old radios because they just didn't have it for some reason or another, which was very strange. Yeah, these dials are meant to click in and out. You see that one does, but the rest don't. So they just kind of stay out forever. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, they were supposed to do that. The screen was nice and easy to take out. Well, the ribbon cable was nice and easy to take off. The screen itself remains very much still in there. Oh, there's two ribbons. Make sure we release that one as well. There we go. And release the bulb. Now, if you didn't know, this deck's actually dual illumination. It can either be green or orange, and that's how they achieve that. Just two different coloured bulb holders right next to each other. I know it's kind of difficult to see that the other one's green, but I promise you, it is. It's definitely green. You know, that this bit stays the same colour. The actual, like, buttons, they stay orange. There we go. Now we got the screen out. Cool, so the screen is out safely. You can see the card, the security card area, and the amplifier section, which I believe is all in one piece. There we go. You can actually see the terminals for the security card mechanism in there. It's good. It does still click in and out, which is good to know, because if it didn't, I would have had to try and glue something. Okay, there's the front off. Oh crap, let's not lose that. There we go. Yes, that is attached to the motherboard. Ah, and now that does let the motherboard come out. Again, I will have to do some desoldering, and it looks like I may not be the first to do it. I should be able to get this logic board out now, hopefully. Hopefully. We still soldered somewhere. Oh, I'm still soldered on the antenna. The little central antenna connection. I think that's the reason. Yeah, it looks like it. It's got one of those stupid ISO antennas. Which is, I was going to say which is funny because it's DIN, but no, it does actually have ISO connections, so it makes sense that it would have an ISO antenna. There we go, the board is out. That wasn't too bad in the end. I've certainly dealt with worse. It's not great because you know, this design is kind of crap, but I've dealt with worse, so it's all right. Right. Yeah, I think I definitely messed that connector up a little bit, the ribbon. Oh no, it's not too bad. That's absolutely clean upable. With a bit of flux and some new solder, they'll go in beautiful. Yeah, okay, I'm not worried about that, that's fine. Yeah, all the pins are still where they should be. That'll go back in just fine. Okay. So, we've got the majority of it out, and there is a lot. There is a lot to this thing. It's a surprisingly complex little radio, this one. I kind of figured it would be. These Blaupunkts kind of always are, and this one obviously has a lot of features, so it's got a lot of things it has to connect, hey? I'll say I'm not the first to remove these things, because There was a bit of singeing on the connections before I even got to it. Say for better or for worse. But at least now the thing's apart, I can check joints, stuff like that, you know, just make sure it's all happy. I can now see the edge connector that the security card bit goes to. I'll make sure that's free of dust as well, so that it can actually read a security card, which will matter a lot during the programming process. Other than that, in here, it looks pretty clean. So, I guess that concludes part 1, and we'll come back when we have the key card. The final missing piece of the puzzle is here. This isn't the exact style of card this is meant to have, but it should have the right pin layout, hopefully. Right, so what we do is we pop it on the little bit that says key card, and we should be able to push it in like that, I think. Oh man, this system's horrible. I think that's in. It should hopefully come up and say something. Right, it helps if you plug things in. There we go. Now it's asking for the master code, which is somewhere. It doesn't really matter if I show this. If someone's managed to steal my radio, I've got bigger problems. Right, so it should be... Is that not how you enter it? The button's not working? Oh, I know why. There's a particular way you're supposed to do it. 1 second, I'm going to look up the instructions. So it turns out the instructions on D&D's website is actually wrong for this radio. Completely wrong. So if you've got one of these, do not follow it. I luckily have the service manual, and it tells you how to do it differently. So what you've actually got to do is, so D&D's website talks about holding that button and that button, but this will do nothing on this radio, literally absolutely nothing. What the service manual says is you're actually supposed to hold preset 1 and 4. So I might need to email D&D about this. If this works, I need to email D&D and say that your instructions are wrong. So let's turn this off. It is already off, yeah. Put the key card in, hold 1 to 4. This is going to be really difficult, I apologise. That's probably an easier way to do it. There we go. Now we can actually put the code in, which is 1. Oh, I've got to go along, I see. Right. 1, 1. Oh, that was already 0. Whoops. Whoops, that's the wrong. And then, what does it say to do after that? After successfully entering the master code, you must proceed with the steps where you insert an existing key. Oh, I see, right. Excuse me? That's not right. Okay, I must have done that wrong. Oh, thankfully we got back to that. Okay, what did I do wrong? So it said, find out the master code, hold down stations 1 to 3. Oh, and wait until the audio returns. So 11. So I wonder if their code's wrong then as well. What else have they got wrong? Unless the master code was changed. Right, 1106 is the code, so apparently I just have to wait. After successfully entering that, yeah. Type in the master code and wait until the audio returns. What? Well, it's not doing it. I'm starting to wonder if the master code they've given it's wrong. Interesting. I do have software to look this up, so maybe I will. So as you can see, unfortunately, this didn't go very well. I don't know why the master code is not what it says it is. I don't doubt D&D, because I checked with my own software that can also decode it from the serial number, and it also shows the same master code that they produced. So I'm guessing someone changed it. This is pretty rare. It does happen, you know, sometimes, you know, a dealer might be requested by a customer to put a custom code on there because they don't like the fact that someone's cracked it or whatever, or they're worried about someone cracking it. It's really rare though for it to change, but I'm guessing that's what's happened to this. Either that or there's something wrong with it that doesn't make it work. And you might just say, oh, you know, I've seen you on posts on various social media getting codes out of radios before via their, you know, inbuilt storage chips and whatnot. The only problem is the storage on this is actually built into the CPU, and the CPU is a multi-pin chip. It's a Motorola of some form. and I'd have to build a reader to actually read that. And even if I did build one, there's a fairly high chance the contents would actually be encrypted, and I don't think anybody knows how to break past that encryption. Obviously, a lot of information's fairly sparse because these radios are very old, and I think those that do know sometimes tend to keep it to themselves, which is kind of a bit like how D&D is sometimes. They do tend to be, fairly secretive about how they do things, I think, because, I don't know, I guess it's sort of trade secrets or whatever, I suppose. And they can't help me with this either, annoyingly, because you might just say, oh, why not send it to them to sort the code out? Because it's an uncollected customers thing, there's a sort of law that was enacted in the 70s that allows you to dispose of goods that haven't been collected or whatever. And I'm guessing there's something under that legislation, because that's what they said in the description, that they're not allowed to work on this anymore once they've decided that it's going to be sold off via that sort of legislation or whatever. So they can't even help me. So this thing is basically just a brick, and there's not much more else I can do. I've essentially just put it back together for now loosely. I haven't even sold most of the stuff because it's essentially a parts unit. So I'll just have to wait. Maybe I'll get one with a broken screen or something like that, or just another one that needs a key card, but the master code is actually known. So fingers crossed. But for now, unfortunately, this one's no good. So there's literally nothing we can do about that. Sucks, but there you go. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And, this is why I'm sometimes not a big fan of trying to fix a radio for someone, because you can end up in awkward situations when they realise a radio that may have been functioning completely fine before they gave it to you suddenly does this. And then they're like, oh, you broke my radio and whatnot. That's why whenever I offer to fix someone's radio, I always, talk to them, be like, this is a possibility, this could happen, you need to confirm that this is okay. 9 times out of 10 they do, obviously. And 9 times out of 10 I'm probably able to fix the problem, but you know how it is. Anyway, big shame, because I did have some plans for this radio. It is a very nice radio, but it goes on the shelf for now, and maybe in the future we can find either another main board or another unit to try and maybe get it going. They don't come up very often, so this could be a little while, but thank you for watching. Sorry we couldn't get any further, but maybe people will at least find what I've done here somewhat interesting. So if you do, thank you, and leave a like, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Just before we sign off, I want to do a quick call to action. So JD Burgess at Blacktop Magazine on Blue Sky told me there was a promo run by Car Magazine in around 1989 to 1992 where they gave key cards out with their issues of the magazine, and essentially you would be able to take the key card to a in-car entertainment dealer, and if your key card was the correct one, you would win the Blaupunkt stereo. At least that's sort of how they put it. And I'd love to know if anybody had any more information about it. If you have any information, please let me know down in the comments or even on Blue Sky or whatever. We'd love to hear more about it, because there's no information online about it. I did a quick search. I couldn't really find anything. It feels like the kind of thing that would have been fairly memorable, but yeah, nobody we know could find any sort of information about it either. So if you know, or even have the magazine, let us know, because I'd love to read through a copy of it on a video or whatnot. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.